Alright, tried out the new TIG machine. Did okay. Let the bugs out of it, you know. Be alright. Give it a good look at it. It's a single pass. Single. Yep. That's a walk in the cup, and that is dipping and daubing. Difference between the two. Alright. But yeah, I'm going to weld this valve in. I've already got my takeoffs placed on it and everything. It's hexa, so I'm fixing to purge it and take it in the shop and do some fab work. We'll look back at it again later. Alright, now I just brought it into the shop, got it purged, washed out. Now I'm ready to get my fab work and finish my layout. Alright, one thing you definitely want to do before you get it laid out is take a piece of unistrut, in this case, a piece of angle, lay it up here. Measure my takeoffs, so I'll mark those, but I want to make a line. That way I can tie these back together. And I usually put it somewhere along the top, so it can be anywhere. Just as long as they match up and the piece you're using is straight. When I put these flanges together, I'll have to make sure that these lines match up. So I'll measure my takeoffs here and here. Just square, so there's no rolling offset or anything, so we don't have to worry about that. So we just make it wrap around. I sometimes like to put them together like this, massage them. That way it falls as true as it can be. Let your eyes be the guide. About as good as it's going to be. Being this is stainless, I've got my choice of using the Tabo cutoff wheel, or I can use a plastic. But just to keep it down on the cleanup work, I'll just use the Tabo. Precision is key. Always remember, prior preparation prevents piss poor performance. Caught that? Always stand by it. It works. If you ever get too frustrated or rush it, step away, come back to it. Get you a closer look at what we got. And this is a light stainless. It's not even a Schedule 40. So you're not dealing with extra heavy wall or nothing big. But the flanges are heavy. So we'll favor the side of the flange for our weld. Okay, now what you want to do in this case, always get you a good clean work surface. You don't want to step out of that way, it's fine. As long as the work area is good and neat and everything, and you'll be in good shape. Get this laid down where it's, you don't have the potential hazard to fall on you at the end of your cut. I'm going to start off with a good fresh cut-off wheel. take my time and make my cuts as clean and precise as possible. I act like a big cut by a machine. See where my line is. If it'll focus. There. Line. And where I'm cutting. And I'll finish my cuts up. Okay, I got all that cleaned up, and real careful not to grind out my marks there. I want to keep those, my reference. Use a sanding disc that got all my tools out. Now you want to get these little burrs out, kind of clean up around the inside, and you can use a burr knife. You can use a half round like I'm going to use here, or you can use a little grinding rock, little cone shape. And I'm going to go with my regular lightweight gloves for dexterity. If it was a little heavier stainless project, I'd probably put my TIG gloves on for it. Now, there's several ways you can do this. There's the right way, and then there's procedure. What I did is I measured in between the two holes, and I made my line. So we're still going to use our 2-hole pins and line it up with our center punch. But this will line up our marks that we made previously and get us kind of where we need to be. And then we'll fine tune it with the valve and these 2-hole pins. And that'll be by our numbers. Alright. Now see how we got our levels together and they're working together? And that's our 2-hole pins on that level. And you see how this one's on level, but it's not quite even with that line there. So that tells us we were close, but we want to be exact. And that and this center punch right here working together is what's going to get us exact and make it match up to that part. That way it takes out all the guesswork. And then when we put that valve on, it just goes right in. No flange bolts hitting the sides of the walls, nothing. Okay, since I'm limited on jack stands or access to them, what I've done here is an old trick. I've actually tied it to where I need to be, and adjusted this to where I can get it as close. But you notice how it's leaning towards that left side of the line, or in this case, the north side of the line. That's what I did to that one also. All they gotta do is match up. You see where our line lies. And again on our center finder, I'll do the same thing. Favor to the north side of the line. They all line up and make my punch. Alright. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pack this in 4 symmetrical placement on the inside. Keeping an eye on my bubble the whole time I'm doing it. I don't like a foot pedal for a pipe. However, we just got this machine that doesn't have the option to go to scratch, so we just make do with it for now, and we'll deal with that. Foot pedal is great for a lot of things, but for pipe, no bueno. Really just put it back up top first. Put it on their face. Roll out. I'll get a flange bolt, stick in here, or better yet, wrench, stick in. On the bottom, just a little sticker. Beautiful. Okay. Now what you do is you need a tape measure. What we do is we measure our flange. Come in here and measure off 7 inches. Right. Take this, you know it's 4 inches, you're going to measure that. Come off the level. Drop off the straight edge. Pretty close, but we got a little kick going this way. Now, I might finagle it with my hands or my spud wrench. If not, I'll get the hammer and I'll tap it. So I want to be careful with it. Since I know I've marked this out and cut it straight, you usually can use this line as a reference, but still we'll do it the right way. Just under 7. And that'll split the difference because I had 1/16. So I went 1/32. So you get 1/16 total. Not going to weld anything, just tack it. Now, set our jack stand up, and we'll get this one placed. Another little trick I like to do when setting up jack stands is I like to know the distance from here, the very bottom, to my floor, which in this case is 3 foot on the nose. So I'll set the base of this at 3 foot, any jack stands that I use, and I'll have the screws set in the center, and I'll tighten everything down. That way I can adjust from that. Now they make a jack stand clamp, a V-clamp for the pipe, but here again, improvising, using a piece of emery cloth because I don't have everything I need because I'm just getting these guys started up. But emery cloth is also pipe fitter's best friend, especially in the field or something. Okay, now that I got it all tacked, I welded it on the inside. I like to weld them on the inside first, then come back and smooth them down so that the gasket seat good and flush. Then I'll take my 309 stainless wheel and I'll go around the outside, which I'll do that next. But I'm not worried about my marks anymore because I got everything where it needs now. All it needs is just cleaning up so I can walk the cut. Okay, so now we're coming to, well, I got it set up on my pedestal. I like to weld. On that one, it sticks out a little further, so I'll probably use the jacks again. This is another reason why I don't like to use the foot pedal, because I like to just walk all the way around without stopping. And this is not exactly set up completely like that. Start out, I always like to try and check everything, check my run, make sure I'm gonna walk, make sure I don't run into any interferences, and when I do, if I do, I'll know what to do when I come to it. Also, I might have to end up plugging this into the 220 because it's only 125 amps. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough to cut it because I'd like to get this up a little higher. We'll try it real quick and see. Second pass. Now we can get a better look at it, especially since I shut that big dude off. Now this one I'm going to have to put an outrigger on, which you see I already did. got that in place. All I gotta do is slide it in there. I've already checked my dimension, and I have 1/8 of an inch total. So that gives me 1/16 of an inch for each one of my gaskets, and that's exactly what they are. So now I just put that in, and then I'll button these two ends up, and then I'll button that up, and then I'll take my locks off, turn the pump on, turn the valves on. Not necessarily that order, close enough. And then we will check for gasket leaks. We ain't checking for weld leaks because we know that ain't gonna leak. Nice job, if I do say so myself. Alright, I got 4 bolts in the bottom. Leaves me 4 open at the top. So now all I gotta do is swing my gaskets in and start smoothing them down. I will say this is in upside down for a reason. It's done purposely. It's upon their request for easier access, even because it flows regardless. It catches to the screen. Now this is the one that the contractor did, which, in my opinion, is pretty shoddy welds. And they charged them out the yin-yang nearly $5,000 just to do that. So, yeah, I think I upped that. And it got me a TIG machine, so. Okay, so now it's all buttoned up. And all I gotta do is go pull my locks and pressure it up. How about you, Conway?
Okay.
I'm ready to turn this hex on and give it a pressure up check.
Okay, 4.
Yeah, I think we're good. Okay, so now it's all buttoned up, and all I gotta do is go pull my locks and pressure it up. How about you, Conway?
Okay.
I'm ready to turn this hex on and give it a pressure up check.
Okay, 4.